So before we get into this video, a big shout out to Sawtooth. He actually made an outro for me that you'll see at the end of the video. Really appreciated, and it's quite a funny outro to be fair, and I do like it. So big shout out to Sawtooth. He's just past 200 subscribers. Let's see if we can get him higher than that. So anyway, let's get into the video. So in this video, I'm going to be comparing the ray gun versus the ray gun Mark II versus the ray gun Mark III in a free-for-all series. Now I did start free-for-all all the way back into Eisendrach with the Vespa, the CUDA and the VMP, but I did indeed not do a series or an episode since. Now it's been literally about 4 or 5 months since that episode 1, but I'm bringing back this series because honestly I think it's a series that could do well and it's pretty original. I do not know anyone else that's done a free-for-all series or a series that's very similar to it. It's a bit like a weapon comparison but on steroids, to be fair. But anyway, let's get into this. So the ray gun Mark I has 1000 damage, okay? So you'll probably think 1000 damage, that is brilliant. But when we get into the other ray guns, you'll see the 1000 damage is pretty slim. So it's got 1000 damage. It has 300 to 1500 splash damage. So you can make crawlers or you could kill them instantly when you shoot around them, which is what we have come to learn and love about the ray gun. So, or maybe not love, but in the magazine it has 20 shots. In the reserve it has 160 in reserve. So that is, yet again, not that much ammo, to be fairly honest. I mean, most ray guns do have similar shots to that, but that's not a lot in my opinion. I do get through the ammo quite quick in a ray gun. Anyway, the Mark II we're going to go on about now, but the Mark II has 2300 damage, which is way more than the Mark I couldn't even get my words out there, but it's way more than the Mark I. Even though the Mark I has splash damage and all that, it's still stronger. Now, a good thing about the Mark II, which is probably makes it on top of the ray gun Mark I, is the fact that it does not include splash damage. The ray gun Mark I does, the ray gun Mark II and the ray gun Mark III do not include splash damage, so that is putting them above the ray gun already. But the ammo for the ray gun Mark II is 221 in the magazine and 162 in reserve, so slightly better, but better nonetheless. So at the minute I'm probably going to have to say the ray gun Mark II is better than the ray gun, but we're going to get into all of that at the end of the video. Now the Mark III, we do not know the damage for the Mark III. On the wiki I cannot find the damage for the Mark III. If I had to guess, it'd probably be somewhere around the 3500 mark, just because it's definitely stronger than the Mark the Mark II, sorry. So it could be a bit above that. Now, the ammo in this one ray gun, we have, obviously they're dual-wield, so we have 3 in one hand, 15 in the other hand, and 158 in reserve, which you might find that that's not a lot, but 15 add 3 is 18, so it's basically got 18 in the magazine, 158 in reserve. So, to be fairly honest, it's not got as much ammo as the other ray guns, which I thought they would have, to be fair, but they don't. So that's something you've got to keep in mind. But anyway, we're going to get into what I think is better. We're going to rate them 1 out of 10, and I'm going to tell you which one I think is better. So the original ray gun, I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go down from there. The original ray gun, probably my favourite out of the 3 guns, although it may not be the best, it's probably my favourite out of the 3 guns. So I'm not going to put it at the top just because it's my favourite. I think it's just because of the nostalgia that it's my favourite. When I get out of the box on Grod Crovey, I probably would keep it over the ray gun Mark III, to be fairly honest. I love the original ray gun. The original ray gun I'm probably going to put around a 6 here. That is very bad, I know, in my ratings. I think I put the VMP in last episode higher than that. The only reason I'm putting it low is because, let's be honest, it's not that strong. It gets weak at quite early rounds. You cannot use it for a high round, and it does have splash damage, unless you have PhD Flopper, of course. But realistically, it should be around there in my ratings, but I do really love the ray gun. The ray gun Mark II, on the other hand, I'm going to put the ray gun Mark II at probably, this is going to be a hard one, but I've come to the realisation in my head that I'm probably going to have to put it around somewhere around 8 or 9, so it's going to be 8.9, I'll put it at 8.9, that's what I'll put it, but 8.9, so it's basically a 9 for the ray gun Mark IIs. So the ray gun Mark III is considerably the better weapon out of all 3 of them, mainly because you can camp with it and get to a pretty high round. You can get to about around 40 on Grod Crovey camping with that. You couldn't really with the other 2 ray guns. It's basically a mini Apothicon Servant. It can get you out of sticky situations. The original ray guns can't really, to be fair. So I'm going to have to give the ray gun Mark III 9 out of 10. So you'll probably be sat there like, Why the hell have you put the Ray Gun Mark III above the Mark II? Everybody loves, let's be honest, the Ray Gun Mark II and the Ray Gun Mark I. This is surprising for me. When I looked at the stat, I honestly thought, you know what, the original ray gun, that'll probably be first and it'll surprise everybody. But long story short, the Ray Gun Mark III is the better weapon to use on a zombies map, and it's the most helpful weapon to use on the zombies map. A lot of people may have suspected that. I thought the Ray Gun Mark I would. I don't know why, don't even ask. But anyway, thanks for watching. You'll see the outro at the end of this video. Big shout out to Swordtruth for providing me with the outro. And anyway, see you in the next one. Peace.